end, Radhika, what is the timeline for the election of a successor? Because the process will be pretty much as we saw the last time around, but in a curtailed fashion.
Yes, pretty much what we saw last time around, which was not too long ago. It was only about 45 days ago. But last time around, we saw 3 different ballots that were carried out because there were a lot of candidates to be screened. This time around, it looks like because there is a short time and also there is pressure mounting from both the Labour Party as well as other opposition parties, including the Scottish National Party, which has now said that a general election is now a democratic imperative. Nicola Sturgeon, chief of SNP, has said the same. So it looks like we will have one round of a leadership contest. The one person who will be having an I told you so moment will be Rishi Sunak, who we hear from sources is a part of him is still interested in running for the job. We know that Jeremy Hunt, who is the next in command, if we could say so, just after Liz Truss, who now is the new Chancellor, has said that he is not interested to run for the race at number 10. So whether they will go back to the candidates that stood for the election last time around, which includes Rishi Sunak, or whether it will be a fresh list of interested candidates is up for the Conservative parties. But for the Conservative parties, they and the leadership, it's the toughest time that they have had in years, given the mounting pressure, because Keir Starmer, who is the chief of the opposition at Labour Party, has already called for an immediate general election, given the bout of resignations at the top level, including the Prime Minister. Just 45 days ago, Liz Truss was elected, and she came in at a time when the UK has seen a series of scandals with the erstwhile Prime Minister Boris Johnson. So clearly, a big mountain of disgrace ahead for Conservative parties at the moment.
Radhika, constitutionally and legally, where does the opposition's demand for fresh general elections stand?
The Conservative Party should call for a general election should they feel that they cannot or they do not have the majority. But the Conservative Party does have the majority, and if they are able to choose a Prime Minister within a week, they will be able to well continue within the legal remit or within the constitutional remit. It's more of a moral question now on whether the Conservative Party will admit that they have lost the faith and trust of not just their own MPs but also the people. But it is not a legal imperative for them because they still continue to have the majority, and so if they choose their next Prime Minister, as mentioned, within a week, they can very well continue.
All right, Radhika, stay on with us. Nicholas Nugent, senior journalist and former editor BBC, is now joining us on the phone line as well from London. Nick, you 2 weeks ago pretty much predicted that this was about to happen on a show on NDTV. You said that Liz Truss might not be Prime Minister till Diwali, and that's exactly what's happened. What next now?
Well, indeed, what next? We're all wondering that. But then it's been such chaos over the last 2 weeks especially that this is a bit of a relief. And indeed, even the markets are showing some positive reaction, and it's the markets that seem to be in charge. So now we are launched into a leadership election, and as your contributor Radhika said, there's still a possibility we might have a general election, but there isn't really machinery for doing that whilst the Conservative Party command a majority in the House of Commons. That's really how it works. So if the Conservative Party are as swift as they are saying they're going to be in finding a new leader within a week, and I think they will, they know the urgency, then we hope to get back to some sort of stability.
And who are those who could step in place of Liz Truss at the moment? Any names?
Yes. Well, the clear favourite, in my view, would be Rishi Sunak, because he, after all, was the favourite of Conservative MPs last time round, but defeated by the party at large when Liz Truss got the job. So you could say he is the chief runner-up from the last election. So he's definitely the favourite. But there are other candidates. There would be Penny Mordaunt, who was also in the a candidate last time. Probably Suella Braverman, who resigned yesterday as Home Secretary, would be a candidate. One candidate ruled out, who ruled himself out, is Jeremy Hunt, who seems to be quite happy to have been appointed Chancellor of the Exchequer or Minister of Finance. So he has said already that he won't be a candidate next time round. And then there are one or two dark horses, like Ben Wallace, the Defence Secretary, who wasn't a candidate last time round, but he's popular. And there is that darkest horse of all, one Boris Johnson. But frankly, I don't think he is in with a chance, but we have to mention his name. So you've got about 5 or 6 candidates there, possible candidates, but we will know within a very short space of time who are the real candidates, who actually put their names into the ring.
Right. So, you know, if with this kind of list that you're suggesting of 5 probables, is a week enough?
Well, not if they go according to the normal rules, but everything so far has been against the normal rules. I mean, the normal rules protect Liz Truss for a year, but they've broken that rule, so they're going to change the rules as they go along. And I think what's going to happen is, firstly, the party at large in the country will not get a vote this time. After all, they mucked it last time, didn't they? So it'll be only within Conservative members of Parliament, and they will change the voting procedure. They will probably limit the number of candidates by saying that they have to have something like 75 members of Parliament supporting them. I mean, that's the way they can do it. They can engineer it to reduce the number of candidates, perhaps to 3, and ultimately to 2, and they can do that day by day. So yes, you know, the party are in charge, or the members of Parliament of the Conservative Party are in charge. They make the rules, this so-called 1922 committee that groups backbenchers, non-government members. They will make the rules, and they will make sure that it happens, because we all know that stability can only be restored if they move very fast. It's imperative now that they move very fast and that Liz Truss will be out before she's completed 50 days as Prime Minister. It's 44 days today, so that's how it'll go.
Yes, moving swiftly, perhaps on priority there. That is why Liz Truss has, while announcing her resignation, also highlighted that the next leader will be chosen by next week. Many thanks, Nick, for joining us with your perspective there.